I've been doing administrative work for, I don't know, like 17 years. And I knew that's not what I wanted to do when I grew up. Luckily for me, I ran into Summer Ronzo, who happened to be a budding filmmaker herself. And she's like, "Oh, you're a writer." And I'm like, "Yeah." So she asked me to help her with a screenplay that she was working on. Helping her with that screenplay was like the first time I really fell in love with the process of making movies. And I'd tried to write novels and short stories for years and never really succeeded. And as soon as I wrote the screenplay, I was hooked. I signed up for college. I was still in the military at the time. And I signed up for the master's program over at Full Sail on screenplay writing, which in theory was great. You do about one class a month, and maybe it's like 6 weeks, but it's very intense. And being a single mom, working in the military, it was just too challenging. It was at that time that I was in the screenplay writing program that I realized I actually wanted to be a director. I had a teacher. It was like my very first class. I was writing a screenplay, and it was really my first time I'd ever written one outside of just, Summer and I. And I was explaining in my screenplay like how the light was coming through the windows and stuff like that. And the teacher's like, "Yeah, that's not your job. That's the director's job. You just write kind of like the bones. I mean, you can set the scene and stuff too, but all that extra stuff is up to the director." And I was like, "Well, I want to be the director." Summer Ronzo was a huge influence for me starting out in film. Not only did I help her write scripts, but a lot of times she would be like, "I want to make a film this weekend," and she would have a script together or an idea, and she was having a hard time finding other people to jump on board at that time. And I was like, "I'll do it. It sounds like fun. Like, it sounds like a fun weekend." So after I was working with Summer, I decided to branch out with my writing, and I happened to work with a film crew out of Grass Valley, California, and that's where I met my buddy and business partner now, Brandon Tripp. And in 2015, I got a lucky break. I got to work with Jay McTaggart, who is a phenomenal metal singer, and he asked me to make his music video, "I Can See," by the band Death of Reason. And luckily for me, I was able to have free reign of the project. He just kind of told me what the song was about a little bit, and I was able to just kind of go with it. So that was a lot of fun. My friend Brandon Tripp and I worked on that project, and it turned out pretty good, actually, especially for the very first thing I ever really directed. We got rave reviews from the apparel company that sponsored Jay and a few other people. And at that time, Brandon Tripp and I decided to launch Nephalem Noble Productions. It was kind of our start for having a film business and us really getting serious about being filmmakers.